we're back again. Can you believe it?
I know, right?
These episodes.
It's been a hot minute.
It has.
Like it.
Oh, literally a hot minute. So I think that what I want to talk about in this session is one of your favorite topics, I think, is client listening.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, I haven't done a full client listening project or, you know, one of those sessions with any of the firms that I've worked at, which that's another story, a little bit of a red flag.
Okay.
But I think that it's very important to know what the clients want from you, and the only way that you're going to know that is by going to them and asking them in detail. So I think if you could tell us all, what exactly is client listening?
Yeah. Well, I think, so it's, first of all, you're absolutely right. This is one of my favorite topics. And I think this is really, really important because, so a couple of things to start with. Well, first of all, we know that clients, they use a lot more law firms than they used to. So 10, 15 years ago, and I don't like to say that, but before COVID.
Pre-COVID.
We were talking a lot about client loyalty. But this is something that has faded a little bit.
Yeah.
And clients will be loyal to your firm if you continue to deliver good services. But what they'll do is that they're more likely to use more firms. So when they had maybe 3-4 law firms on their panel and they knew which law firm to go to for what type of work, now you see that they tend to have more firms on their panel and they will make them compete for the same piece of work.
Yeah.
So interestingly, clients, when they go to law firms, when they have a piece of work to give to a firm, they already know that this firm can do the job. Okay, so if you want to win the work, it's not going to be solely on your credentials and your experience. It's going to be on a whole other factors that do matter to the clients.
Yeah.
But you don't know what these are. So unless you start speaking to your clients, unless you start listening to them, you are working and progressing in a world of assumptions.
Yes.
So listening to your clients means understanding what is important for them so that you can tailor the services, you can tailor the approach that you have with them so you can retain them, but you can also grow the relationship.
Yes.
Try to win more work, work on that loyalty, and so on and so forth. So how does it work? Well, law firms that have what we call a client listening program, typically, they have BD and marketing professionals that are often dedicated to doing this.
Okay.
So those firms look at their clients and they'll do a bit of research and they'll be able to, often, you know, partners will have a sense of, okay, I know this company, I've spoken to them, I have a sense that they have more projects in the pipeline or they have ambition or we can help them more because we know that they have other lines of business.
Yeah.
So it starts with that tiny conversation.
Yes.
We have planted the seed and then BD and marketing professionals will often schedule meetings.
Yes.
So those meetings, 2 ways of doing it. Sometimes you feel that clients want the partner time and it's important to give it to them.
Yes.
So we will suggest that, you know, partners go and they have a chat with their clients and we can help them prepare for those conversations. We can guide the questions to making sure that we don't only talk about, you know, what movie we've seen last weekend and what is your favorite sports
how
team.
The kids.
Yeah,
it's
how
important,
the kids.
But
absolutely. And this is something that is important in building like a more personal relationship. But it's also important to come prepared with some questions that will help you understand your client, how they're structured.
Yes.
This is a very simple question that I often ask. You know, when we receive a proposal, so we receive it from a in-house lawyer.
Yes.
And I like to ask the partners, is this guy the decision maker on this proposal?
Yes.
Right? So these type of questions, this is typically what you can ask when you have, you know, a bit more informal conversation, if I may say.
Yes.
So outside of the context of a pitch, for example, you can say like, oh, right, okay, so when you send me Proposal
Yes.
when you have a piece of work. So how does it work? Who is
Yes.
it being discussed with?
Yeah.
Etc. You can also get to know more about the person you're talking to. So the legal counsel, the in-house lawyer.
Yeah.
What is their ambition also personally?
Exactly.
Because as a law firm, you need to help those companies realize their ambition, but you also need to make that legal department look good, right?
Exactly.
So this is really important.
Exactly.
Really, really important.
Yeah.
And I'd say that coming in with almost this commercial mindset is not necessarily something that is very natural to lawyers, because we're lawyers. I mean, it's pretty good in itself, right? So they cannot be
Exactly.
good at everything.
Exactly. Exactly.
And we're happy with that. So we can help them doing this. So in my career, though, I have conducted a lot of client interviews on my own.
Oh, okay.
And there are a couple of reasons for this. So first of all, it kind of gives importance to the client.
Yes.
So we move into more of a account management mindset,
Yes.
right? And we
Yeah.
tell the client, right, you are important, and it's important for us that we ask you questions, not only about our performance, but about you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't want those questions to be asked by the legal team that is doing the work for the client.
I agree.
Because, well, maybe the client has something to say that could be damaging to the relationship, or some feedback that is not necessarily very easy to receive for a lawyer.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
want a neutral person
Yeah.
to be able to take that feedback on board. But that doesn't stop there. The reason why you send BD and marketing people is because we can project manage the response. Every time you receive feedback, you need to action this, because it doesn't stop there. It's you take 1 hour of your client time. They will be providing you with critical, very important feedback.
Yeah.
About what they're planning to do in the next 6 months, what maybe sometimes they will tell you what their legal budget is, who are the decision makers, how big is their team, what kind of needs do they have as a legal department, how you can help them further beyond the legal services that they're paying you for.
Yeah.
And you need someone to be able to action that. And BD and marketing people are quite rightly placed to be able to take that forward.
Yeah. Yeah. And I completely agree with that, because having that objective person who's coming in with their objective, but they've also got full perspective of what the lawyers do, what the firm is doing, and also what the BD team is capable of, what they touch every day, how they can actually make those changes happen for the client. It's the perfect person to go in and speak to the client, because you're doing most of the stuff that the client touches.
Yeah.
We're doing the events. You're putting out the marketing. You are giving them the proposals that they need. So why not BD going to have these conversations?
Absolutely. Quite interestingly, you just mentioned those touch points, those client touch points.
Yeah.
And I mean, the work that lawyers will be delivering is one touch point.
Yes.
But your clients will be visiting the firm, your clients will be attending events, they will be receiving your marketing materials, they will be sometimes listening to your podcast,
Yes.
watching your videos. All of those touch points make it quite clear that the relationship does not solely belong to the legal department doing the work.
Exactly.
All of us are responsible and have ownership in making sure that the client experience is strong. Now, how do we know what clients want? We have to ask them.
We have to ask.
Yeah. And to go back a little bit to that commercial mindset as well, the reason why we do this is also because, well, of course, law firms are businesses, right? And we look at growth, we look at stability in our operations.
Yeah.
And, it takes on average 6 to 18 months to acquire new clients.
That's true.
6 months is probably to get a very small mandate. They're going to be testing you on a couple of matters.
Yep.
And then if it works well, if the team performs well, etc., after 18 months, you might be able to land that very big assignment that was worth all the efforts.
Yeah.
This is to acquire a new client.
Yes.
But it takes far less time to build that loyalty and receive repeat instructions from existing clients.
Exactly.
So basically, law firms are sitting on a gold mine. The data about their current client is where their revenue can be found.
Exactly.
So you need to tap into that resource And you need to go and proactively ask your clients what they want, what their projects are, so that you can deliver the services that they need for their businesses, but you can also do it in a way that will matter to them and that they will feel that you're delivering more value than just the legal services they're paying you for.
I think that point, being proactive versus being reactive. If you think about a proposal, it's a reactive system because somebody sends you something, they've got work that you need to do, we're reacting to that. So if you're going in and you're speaking to the client to figure out what's in their pipeline, what they're working on, what might be coming down the line, not only can you prep yourself and make sure that, we've got time to do this work as a lawyer, but you can prep the BD team so they're not getting this unexpected proposal because they know, let's maybe start gathering the information that we need. And if we don't use it for this proposal, it doesn't come in, it's fine. We did the work and we know that we can put it maybe in a folder marked with the client's name. Yeah. And in future, when it comes in, there we go. It's less work for us. So being reactive is one way that we do things, but being proactive, I think, is the method to get to growth. It shows your client that you care about them. And you made a good point. You said it takes 18 months to get a new client. It takes less time to maintain that loyalty and, remain on their minds, make sure that the relationship is going fine. But I think another good point is it takes even less time to ruin that relationship.
Very true. Absolutely true. And this is why the proactiveness is important, right?
Yes.
Because if something has gone wrong, you probably want to proactively address it and say like, right, this went wrong.
Exactly.
Let's talk about it and find together a solution to move forward. Yeah. So interestingly, as we were chatting, I also remembered earlier in my career, so the first law firm I've worked at, I have seen the client development team department coming out of the ground, literally. Wow. So it was really very interesting because at the time they also onboarded a new CRM system, so they made sure that the data was helping the client development program, etc. And after that, I worked at smaller firms where they didn't have such programs, but I pushed for it. And I'm just thinking about people who might be listening to what we're saying, and at their firm, typically they don't have such programs, but they're interested in maybe, trying it out. And it's not easy to go to see a partner and say like, right, let me interview your clients. They'll be like, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Not my clients. It's okay.
Nope. Go ask the partner next door. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. But I think that there are some ways of doing this. And you can... I always go, and this is me personally also who I am, I always go and say like, let's try. Yes. The number one reason I've heard partners not wanting to share or make an introduction with a client for an interview was, no, we're not going to bother them. They're so busy. And what I always say is, your clients have many emotions during the day. Sending them an email to ask them whether they would agree to attend a client feedback session because they're an important client. If they don't have the time, they can tell us.
Exactly.
But there is nothing wrong in us going and showing them attention.
Exactly.
If anything, they will feel valued and supported. So it's important to have this open-minded approach. And also, when you put in place those programs, you don't have to start promising that, okay, we're going to go and interview 100 clients. No, start small.
Yes.
Go see one or two.
Exactly.
Look at the feedback you've gathered. It can also help you. So first of all, you're going to feel more confident once you start receiving the feedback.
Yes.
You can refine the questions based on, the feedback you have received, the intelligence. Make sure that you also share that information with your lawyers because they will appreciate it. They will see the value as well. The type of information that you are able to gather often is not the information that they're able to gather. Both sets are very important. Yeah. But you're able to ask other questions, different questions.
Yeah.
And then, you you can build on those wins.
Yes.
And start formalizing that program. So that's what I say. That would be my biggest advice for people.
I think that's so true, because you don't have to go and get feedback from 100 clients. Who are the clients that are bringing you the most work? Those are the important clients. Yeah. Every client is important, but these are the ones that you want to know more about, because those relationships, they bring in money. That means that it should be a strong relationship. It should be a strong relationship. It should be prioritized. So go and speak to those clients. Find out what's working, what's not working. And you'll find that you don't have to interview hordes and hordes of clients, because you can start implementing those changes for all of them.
Absolutely. And interestingly, we did another session on feedback from proposals.
Yes.
And this is part of the client listening program as well.
Exactly.
You need to ask clients every time you do something, what did we do right?
Yeah.
What didn't work so well?
Yeah.
How can we get better?
For you.
For you.
Yeah.
And who will not agree to respond to those questions?
But that's the thing. I think that's the thing that we need to remember. And I think we did say this previously, is our clients are people. So if we are not asking the question, it's sort of like, I'm not going to volunteer the information.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I don't know that you want to know, I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
So it is important to be the one to go and speak to the client, because you should care about that relationship. One more thing that I do want to ask you is, what happens to this information once you've done these programs? Because what I'm thinking is, you've left a couple of firms, right? You've gone from one firm to another firm. How do the next teams use this information if it just gets stored on your hard drive?
Yeah, that's really interesting. Well, I think so. There are so many aspects, to how we use this information, where it is saved, etc. So once you interview your clients, they will be giving you different sets of information. Hopefully, you will already have the information that is related to what is their preference regarding to how the work is delivered, the communication style, etc. I think this information needs to be readily available to the legal teams, to the partners. It should be communicated with people who are joining the team working on a project for a specific client, because they have expressed those preferences. Often BD has very little to do with this information, but if this is something that the client has told you, then you should definitely be sharing this. For us, information about their preferences, etc. Well, I'm gonna give you the honest response. It sits on CRM systems. It sits on client development pages and documents. But mostly it sits with people as well, because we talk about it, and you want to make that knowledge of the client second nature, right?
Exactly.
You want to know that client from the back of your hand.
Exactly.
And you can have some briefing documents. You can. We have systems now, and with AI, it's just so easy to pull out a one-pager, 5 bullet points. These are the most important things for that client regarding, marketing, regarding added value, etc. And then you can use this information every time you do something for the client. Are they going to be interested in that hospitality event? Because we have tickets for a museum. Perhaps yes. How do they prefer their proposals to be delivered? Hard copies, soft copies, I don't know.
2 pages, 50,000 pages. Like, what do they want?
Exactly. And even sometimes it comes down to the language that you will be using in communication. And we see that even in Europe, we see that we have international teams. So what language do they prefer?
Do they want 2 languages? Do they want it here in the Middle East? Specifically for Saudi, there's some places where you need to deliver in English and in Arabic. So do they want that? Are they comfortable with that? Is that something that would be nice to have? Because a nice to have is nice to give to the client. You thought about them. You're thinking about what makes things easier for them. So I completely agree that those little preferences, while the lawyers should be the first ones to use it, I think it would be super useful for BD teams as well.
Yeah.
So that the relationship is holistic throughout the firm. The client is cared for by everybody that the client might meet.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last thing that you need to do with this information, of course you will be using it to progress that relationship with the client.
Yeah.
But you also use it as a comparison point, or not comparison point, but you need to reflect also on how your efforts have been fruitful or not.
Yes.
Right? So you do a client interview this year and they tell you a number of things. Well, in 6 months, in a year time, you probably want to reflect back and be like, right, they have told us all of these things.
Yes.
First of all, were we able to action them?
Yeah.
Does it mean that we have received more instructions? Maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe there are reasons around that. But it's important to reflect on, how this has been helpful in growing, progressing the relationship.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%. I completely agree. I think it's something that is so important. It goes down to, to summarize what we spoke about, is being proactive. It's maintaining those relationships, because it's hard to build a relationship, but it's so easy to break one down. So giving your client attention, easy. It's really, really easy. And I think it's being transparent about that information throughout the firm. And also, again, as we always say, giving BD that opportunity, the seat at the table, the empowerment to be the ones to speak to the client, because we can translate their need, what they think is working, what they think is not working, into the different parts of the firm. So what's working with the lawyers, we can tell them in a nice way. We can say, oh, okay, this in proposals is not working. This marketing strategy didn't feel like it hit us. Like those things, BD is the best one to translate it throughout the firm.
Yeah.
We're strategic. We're big thinkers. We've got a lot of perspective. So I think it's really important for us to be the ones to do it.
I really like what you just said. Thank you. Thank you very much.
No, that was perfect. Thank you.
Cheers. Great. That's a wrap.
So if you liked what you heard, what you saw in this episode, feel free to like this video so that more BD and marketing professionals can see it. Subscribe to our channel, because we'll be uploading so many more videos, so many more podcasts. And go and follow us on LinkedIn. We're Boost BDM, and you'll get more from us all of the time. We're always publishing something. Check us out.